Page 26, Juanita. This piece actually occurs twice on this page, and I'm going to do both of them in this lesson, and I'll explain what's going on, I hope. This is a lesson on the chords for the left hand. So let's just look at the top of the page. In the first measure of that line, they've got a, if I take all three of those notes together, that's a C chord. If I take it the way it's written, it's a broken C chord. It's still a C chord. And then the second measure, that's the one. This is where the little finger comes down. Remember I said before, the outside fingers have to cover two notes sometimes. The hand doesn't move, just the finger. This is one of those times where the little finger comes down here and here. This is a chord. A different chord, not a C chord. It's a different chord. And that's the chords this piece is using. This chord and this chord. You should do it in both hands. Here, you can do the right hand anywhere you want, doesn't matter. And then here the thumb's coming down. You get these chords a lot in piano music, so you'll get used to them. And this lesson is really just on different patterns for broken chords. So if you're into improvising, this is something you can keep in mind. These are different patterns you can use. Now let's look over this Juanita and see what she's up to. It appears twice. The song appears twice. It looks like it's 4 lines, but it's just 2 lines. If you look at the end of the second line, you see a thin and thick bar line. That's the symbol for end of a piece. That's how I know this is 2 separate songs. It's actually the same song 2 separate times. So I look it over and I see it's 2 lines long. Each one is 2 lines long, each song. Treble and bass clef. No sharps or flats in the key signature. When the key is C major, make sure you can do the C major scale, 1 octave up and down. I got the video okay. 3/4 time signature. So right hand first, let's get the melody down. And the melody is the same in both of these pieces. It starts out with 4 here. You don't need any of these other finger numbers until you get to the end, because we're here until the end because we got a C coming up. We have to accommodate that. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and. You get the idea. Second line, second measure. You're here. And then for the next measure, they want second finger on that D. So we're just going to come down 1 key here. The whole hand comes down. We're moving the hand. This is the first time I think we're actually moving the hand to speak of, other than the left hand crossing over. This happens a lot in piano music. You'll notice the D, the half note D. This is the second line, second measure. Half note is a D. And the 8th note, the next note, is also a D, same note. That's called a repeated note because it's played more than once. The D is played twice here. It's repeated. One of the concepts of the fingering style that I use and teach, and not just me, lots of people, is when we have to move the hands around, a lot of times we will do it on repeated notes. Because you have to lift up a repeated note anyway to play it again. It has to come up. You can't connect it. Well, we just take advantage of that, and as we come up, we also just move. So I'm just going from here to here. I could go from any finger to any finger. It doesn't matter. Right now, we're just doing from thumb to index. And you want to get to where you can do this without looking at the piano too. You can feel this going up or down 1 key on the piano without looking. Here, so it's second line, second measure is 1, 2, and 3 and. This way we're in position for the C at the end. And the last 2 lines are the same. Right or left hand. That was the right hand. This is left hand. We're starting out broken C chord, and then this it's a G7 chord, but I haven't really gotten into that much. And you're just doing this all the way through until the end of the second line. It's a C and E together. So it's to rest. Now in the next one, the last 2 lines at the bottom, there's the same kind of chords, but the broken chord is a different pattern. Now it's more of an chuck chuck. Same notes, just just a different pattern. That's the only difference between them. So I'll put my hands together at the beginning. We're here, then here, and here. You get the idea, I hope. You put the hands together on all 4 lines. And then go back through it all and get rid of any hesitations. It's up to you on how fast you go, but no hesitations. And then we'll think about the articulation. Well, they don't give any. Okay, where are the phrases? Well, in order to hear the phrase or the musical sentence, the musical thought, I have to speed up the melody so I can hear it better. That's just how I do it. So here, so it sounds to me like it's every 2 measures is a phrase. Therefore, at the end of the 2nd measure, I'm going to lift up. Just a little lift. It's like taking a breath. You have to lift up anyway. It's a repeated note, but this is a little longer lift. And you have to lift up for the rest, so that takes care of that. In the left hand, I'm going to play it as connected as I can. Even if I lift up in the right hand, I'm still going to connect the left hand. Now, in the last 2 lines, you can't connect the repeated notes, but you connect the first 2. Connect this. So, chuck, chuck. And I separate this. I separate that from that. I connect the first one, and then. So I'm only connecting the first 2 notes of each measure, and that's it. Then the dynamics. P is soft, piano. That's the melody. You'll have to decide what soft is. Not super soft, just soft. The left hand is super soft. And the 3rd line, or the last 2 lines there, it's same thing, soft. Speed. Andante, they say slowly. I disagree. Andante is not slowly. Andante is just a casual stroll. It's like I'm walking somewhere, but I'm not really headed anywhere. I'm just kind of strolling along. Yeah. Yes, it's just a nice casual stroll. Just a little slower than moderato is what it is, sort of. Now they've got words for this underneath the title up above, and you get to figure out which word goes with which note. That's fun sometimes. Just remember that there should be some syllable of a word that goes with each note, unless a syllable crosses notes. So it's like soft or the fountain, soft or the fountain. And then next 2 measures, ling, ring, falls the southern moon. See, each one that kind of fits. And so you kind of figure out where it goes. And you can do that. I don't do the words or the singing in the videos. So the first one is. And then the last 2 lines is basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. You could actually get away with playing all 4 lines together, just boom, 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 boom. But technically it is the same song twice. I like to play it with you very slowly to check everything. And in this play with me, I'm actually going to do all 4 lines together. I'm going to go straight from the 2nd line right to the 3rd line as though it's all one long piece. So I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go.